I want to preface this episode by saying there are no good guys and bad guys, but rather there are shades of gray. We're not going to be subjects of the fundamental attribution error, which for our purposes is essentially that the tendency to believe that what people do reflects who they are. Even saints have done bad, and even the wicked have been benevolent. It's easy to fall victim to the trap of blaming internal factors rather than external circumstances to explain people's behavior. Truth is, we've all done something bad before, just like we've all done something good before. If we're having a bad day, we're more likely to do something bad, like be rude to somebody. But it'd be unfair for that someone to label us as a jerk when they don't understand the circumstances behind our outburst. But there's a darker truth, which I'm going to cover today. That darker truth is that sometimes it pays to be bad. Sometimes you can do bad things and never pay the consequence. Other times, people are forced to choose between only bad options, where inaction is either not an option or an evil option too. Bad is subjective and depends on the perspective. For the conquerors, the story is one of heroes and valiantry. For the conquered, it's a horror story. Even if it is clearly defined that someone is a bad guy, those people don't always know they're bad. Oftentimes, good people break bad without knowing it or even actively trying to. If you are able to get away with something guaranteed, studies show that a lot of generally speaking good people opt for the bad option. Again, in situations where you're guaranteed to get away with it. So what does any of this have to do with mobile home parks? Well, a lot. You're going to be faced with ethical dilemmas all the time. Contractors, tenants, government employees, etc. are going to try to hustle you. Most of them are not bad people. In fact, from their perspective, they may be after a greater good and the ends justify the means. Don't forget, everyone sees the world from a first-person perspective, and in that story, they're the hero and the main character, and you might be the bad guy. So, for my mid-month wisdom, it's the old Russian proverb, translated to trust but verify. Sure, if you identify someone as a bad guy, you're obviously going to avoid them. But even good people that you've trusted for years, can do bad things. And the best way to combat good people doing bad things is trust but verify. For contractors, have very specific contracts limiting assumptions made that both you and them sign. For government employees, take your time to understand local policies and don't be afraid to ask for clarifications in a polite manner. For tenants, be firm and consistent, avoiding, to the best of your ability, making any exceptions. I'll piggyback off Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. You want to understand power at a minimum so that others don't take advantage of you.